What if I told you that one of the Bible's most dramatic stories, the complete destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, has just been validated by modern science? For millennia, the faithful regarded this story as a fact, while deniers dismissed it as a myth. But recent archaeological discoveries have uncovered shocking evidence that these cities were obliterated in an instant as divine punishment for the open acceptance and promotion of homosexual sin. The question isn't whether it happened, it's whether we're listening to the warning. Welcome to America Needs Fatima. I'm Adrian Fonseca. These videos exist to share powerful evidence of God's active presence in our world, helping you to strengthen your faith and grow closer to Christ and Our Lady. Today's discovery is very fascinating, but it's also a wake-up call for our times. You'll see undeniable scientific proof that God's justice is real, and more importantly, you'll discover how His mercy offers us a way forward, even when our world seems to be heading toward the same fate as these ancient cities. Later in this video, I'll tell you about some special gifts that we're offering to help you to deepen your relationship with Our Lady during these troubling times. Now, let me take you to a place called el-Hammam in modern-day Jordan, just northeast of the Dead Sea. About 3,600 years ago, this was one of the largest cities in that region, home to around 8,000 people with 50,000 more living in the surrounding area. About 1600 BC, which coincides with Abraham's time, this city was annihilated in a flash and has remained uninhabitable until today. In 2005, several archaeological institutions formed the Tal el-Hammam excavation project. The group includes Trinity Southwest University, Veritas International University, and Biblical History in the Department of Antiquities of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. What they discovered using modern scientific equipment shocked them. They found evidence of a cosmic airburst, a meteor that exploded in the atmosphere above the city, unleashing more energy than 1,000 Hiroshima bombs. Here's what happened. Temperature reached 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, instantly vaporizing people and melting metal and bricks. A shockwave blasted through the city at 740 miles per hour, flattening everything in seconds. Here's a brief list of what the archaeologists discovered. Pottery melted into glass, mud bricks literally cooked and bubbled. Shocked quartz, which only forms under extreme pressure like nuclear explosions or asteroid strikes, were formed. And this is quite haunting. Fragments of human skeletons, crushed and burned. Even the scientists behind the study, which was published in Nature Scientific Reports, a very well-respected journal, said that no volcano, no earthquake, no fire, and no war could have caused this level of destruction. Only something from above. Genesis 19:24 tells us exactly what happened. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. They even have found salt from the Dead Sea blown across the entire region, making the soil unusable for farming, exactly as the Bible describes. It also confirms the horrifying biblical account of Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. The American Society of Overseas Research featured this summary, quote, "In an instant, the act of God devastated approximately 500 kilometers immediately north of the Dead Sea, not only wiping out 100% of the Middle Bronze Age cities and towns, but also stripping agricultural soils from once fertile fields and covered the eastern Middle Gore with a superheated brine of Dead Sea anhydride salts pushed over the landscape by the event's frontal shockwaves." End quote. So science has now proven how this happened, but we need to closely examine exactly why this happened. And perhaps even more importantly, will it happen again? According to the Catechism of Pope St. Pius X, there are 4 sins that cry out to God for vengeance, and that is willful murder, sodomy, oppression of the poor, and defrauding workers. The people of Sodom and Gomorrah were guilty of all of them. In other words, a total moral collapse. Sound familiar? The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is a warning to all of us in the 21st century, a reminder that when a society turns against God's will and natural law, there are consequences. Yes, God loves sinners, that is, He desires good for them, and He absolutely hates sin and ardently wishes for us to stop sinning and amend our lives. But when we don't, God's mercy will not be mocked. And if God did not approve of homosexual sin and murder back then, why would He approve of them now? God's laws do not change, and all arguments attempting to show that His mercy somehow accepts sins is pure moral relativism. There is no debate that abortion, sodomy, and the LGBTQ agenda qualify as sins that cry to heaven for vengeance. This is exactly why what I'm about to share with you is so important. Our Lady herself has given us the solution to the moral crisis that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah and threatens our world today. At Fatima, she warned that without conversion and devotion to her Immaculate Heart, nations would face the same kind of destruction that we've just seen evidence of. But she also promised that if we respond to her call, we can avoid this fate. That's why we're excited to offer you a free ebook copy of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and God's Plan for America when you join us as a child of Mary. This book reveals how devotion to Our Lady's Immaculate Heart is the key to restoring order in our troubled world. When you join, you'll also receive a subscription to Crusade Magazine, a beautiful Marian lapel pin, and most importantly, a traditional Catholic Mass offered for your intentions every single day. Click the link in the description box down below to get your free ebook and discover how you can be part of God's plan for America. The ruins of Tal el-Hammam stands in the Jordanian desert as a stark reminder that God's justice is real. But they're also a reminder of His mercy, because He doesn't want us to face the same fate. He gives us warnings because He loves us and wants to save us. The evidence is clear. The warning is unmistakable. But unlike the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, we have something they didn't. We have Our Lady's promise that devotion to her Immaculate Heart can save our world from destruction. The question I want to leave you with is this. Do you see the same signs of moral collapse that preceded the destruction of these ancient cities happening in our world today? What will you do about it? How are you responding to God's call for conversion in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. If this video has strengthened your faith in God's active presence in our world, I highly recommend watching our Shroud of Turin series next. Just like today's archaeological evidence, the scientific analysis of Christ's burial cloth provides incredible proof of God's intervention in human history. You can find the complete 3-part series on your screen right now, starting with Shroud of Turin, Scientific Evidence. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. God love you.